Mr. Glass,
Am I live?
right on cue. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening. Jordan Glass. My hearty congratulations to the former Mayor Stephen Otis, City Manager Paul Hsu, City Attorney Kevin Plunkett, Helen Gates, and all those whose hands grasped the throat and choked the life out of the ideas they pledged to serve. A man is silenced, but his message is quickened. So too, congratulations to all those who stood by and did nothing, whether under Niemullerism or the shabby cover of ongoing legislation. Congratulations to those of you who could have righted the wrong, but chose to not do so. And congratulations on your legal tactics, because Bob Schubert is indeed dead. Bob Schubert understood the art of science. He was an extraordinary engineer whose work on the Kensico Dam restoration and participating in building the world's first atomic collider is beyond the ken and abilities of most. Bob also experienced the science of art, expressed most profoundly in the 8,000 square feet of quiescence on Forest Avenue, so blithely ignored, in his commitment to a wetlands pond so easily forgotten, and the true measure of which was our fight to retain our rights. Expressed as Bob might have said it, where Bob's body was X and his question was why, and the function of X now reads 0. The question you will face again and again is, how could you let this happen to a locally known hero? Bob's function-seeking why now equals tenfold what you thought you had beaten before, but we will ask why, and why again until you are forced to answer what you avoided, buried, polluted. The system conspired and became convoluted against the interests of those supporting its obligations. To all of those who fought so we can vent our frustrations as rightful citizens, it is you who have, quote, sullied your reputations. Where the function of S was Bob's soul, which while here was all but sucked out of him by gymnastic gaslighting, political gimcrackery, personal corruption, as Bob might have said, the decrement approaches 0, or the desecration of the system approaches its basest limit. His F of S approaches the infinite, and we who will carry on his message in his name will remember in this small place what you have done and what you failed to do. The flight of his soul naturally approaches the infinite, which is the natural limit of its function. In contrast, his life, which was so filled with building, ended by eager many hands bent upon his personal destruction. Mr. Hsu tried to silence Bob within a psychiatric snake pit, and Bob would not be moved. You have thus far silenced his cause by preventing reality to be placed before the public in the clearest commanding terms. He never did get his due process to depose those in his government who were sworn to serve us all. Nonetheless, Bob was unmoved. You momentarily silenced his cause with shame by subterfuge, creating a mickle of threats a man of his physicality could not possibly possess. And Bob progressed unbowed. I am the amanuensis of my story, he said, as Bob had nothing for which to apologize. The purpose of government has become thus to keep things just good enough for us to think we ought to be silent. Dare we approach greatness, we need you less and less and your power base erodes. But if we approach true failure, we could rebel and your power would be threatened, so smart you are to keep the balance. But Bob saw it differently. Be the change you want to see in the world, said Gandhi, and so Bob tried. But he faced a greater difficulty as foretold by Edmund Burke. When bad men combine, the good must associate, else they will fall one by one, an unpitied sacrifice in a contemptible struggle. Bob said on camera, it's our country. We're here to tell you we will take it back. For while one has fallen, the good have started to associate. You wanted a reason to fear Bob? Now you have it.